Okay, hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, friends. Right, welcome back to our day 8 of our 20 days program on Power BI. Yeah, good evening, and all. So, friends, in the last session, we started understanding a new topic. It's DAX, data analysis expressions, right? So, it is DAX. So, what is the use of DAX, or what exactly is DAX in Power BI? DAX is, excuse me, DAX is a formula language where we use variables, operators, and functions to build an expression to come up with the formula. Okay, so that is actually satisfying our requirement. Yes, so the basic functions like sum, average, then even we have functions like if, the logical functions. Okay, then some related functions like date, day, year, date, all. Okay, month. So we are going to use all these functions and we are going to achieve our requirement. So when it comes to DAX, using DAX, especially we can build two main things. One is calculated columns and the other one is calculated measure. What makes the difference between calculated measure and calculated column? So DAX, using DAX, I'll make two main things. One is measure, nothing but calculated measure, and the other one is column, also called as calculated column. So what makes the difference between calculated measure and calculated column? A calculated column or column, it's representing the column in the table in the model. Okay, so if you take a table, in a table in a model we have two main things. One is rows, the horizontal one, and the columns. Okay, in Power BI columns are named as fields. Okay, these are the vertical ones. Excuse me. So these columns I can build using DAX. They are nothing but calculated columns, and they occupy space in a table. They'll consume some memory inside a table, inside a model. But if you create a measure using DAX, so these measures help us to, are they occupying any kind of space? No. First of all, they don't occupy any space in the table, in the model. Okay, so they are built using the same rows, but they represent, or they have only one single value in it, like kind of aggregations, sum, average. Okay, then whatever it might be, friends. Okay, if you are ultimately using n rows, if you are getting only one value, it will be a measure. But using same n rows, n row values, if you're getting any n values back, that means each row will return a value, each row will return a value, okay, as output. That is a column. Okay, so how can I get the information that is present inside a measure is via visual. And the best visual that can be used for visualizing a measure is card visual. We have already discussed how we have to load a visual into report. First of all, you see these dotted lines. These dotted lines represent canvas, friends. Okay, I'll talk about more about these things in the upcoming topic called data visualization. Okay, so why am I not stressing all these things is that this is part of visualization, but since we are building measures, and if I want to get the information that is present inside a measure, At the end of the day, I have to use a visual. It's nothing but card visual or card view, whatever it might be. Okay. So how are we loading a visual to a report? So under the visualization pane, we'll have multiple visuals. So when you click on any one of the visual, that visual gets added to the page, nothing but the report. So once after having the visual added to the report, make sure that you select that visual and then select the measure. Okay, so whatever the value that is present inside the measure will get displayed on the visual. So this is what we have understood. Yesterday we have calculated total profit and total sales. Am I right? Yes. Only two measures we have done yesterday, and also we have created a column called we have created a column using if function. If logical function, we have created a column whether are we achieving, are we getting any profit or loss with respect to each and every transaction, each and every order. Okay, so I have saved the file yesterday and I'll just continue from wherever we have stopped. Right. So let's continue, friends. Then I'll expand visualization pane so that it will be clear. So this is not required. Ah, So you see here, these are the list of columns that are available inside the data. I mean inside the table. Okay, all of these columns, all of these fields will be arranged alphabetical order. They'll be arranged in the alphabetical order. And calculated measure. How can we identify a calculator measure is you'll observe a calculator kind of icon. Okay, so that will actually talk about it's a measure. So these two are measures. Okay, and if it comes to column, you'll see that in a table only one specific column will be highlighted. That's what the icon for calculated column. Clear. Now we'll continue from the next topic. I mean the next measure that we are going to create will be you know average sales. What is the average sale across these 4 years of time period? Because if you observe in our data, we have the orders, the transactions from 2021 till 2024. Okay, so if I want to get the average sales, what I'm supposed to do? First of all, your requirement. What is your requirement? My requirement is to get average sales. Okay. Then, are we going to get a measure or column? Should be the second question that we have to ask ourselves. If you understood the requirement, the next question will be, are we going to create a measure or column? Average sales, will it give us measure or column, friends? Please interact. Okay, so that we can discuss more. What do you say? Will it be a measure? Obviously, it will be a measure. Average, right? What you are doing, you are going to take all the sales, okay, and you are identifying the average of the column. Obviously, it will be a average, a measure, not a column. How come it will be a column? When you perform average, the mean, okay, of 10 numbers, will you get one single value or will you get 10 values back? Only one value, right? So it will be a measure. So the same process, you know, either you follow one of the approach. I need not explain all the different types of approaches every time, right? So I'm going to select new measure. from the list of options that you got, and you see it's it has given us the formula bar. So initially, the variable, what should be the variable? Average sales, average sales. So what function can we expect in general? Probably average. So let's try whether there is average function or not. A, B. That's it. You see, immediately from the list of functions, I can clearly see that there is average function. So select the function. You'll get the syntax for the function. You get the syntax for the function. So what it is saying, you just specify the column name. So what is the column name? It is sales, order of sales. Again, the syntax is within the function whenever you are trying to use a column, okay, because sales values are present in this column, right? So the best practice will be, mentioning or keeping the table name followed by the column name. So within the square braces, mention the column name, and to the left of the column name, it's always, the best practice will be like mentioning the table name. I have already discussed what makes uh, why it is considered as the best practice. So if you have multiple tables and multiple what queries, if you have multiple queries and if you have the same column across all these queries, so it creates some kind of confusion state. So that's not the best option. And moreover, uh, even it's better if you type you know single quotations for your table name. Akhil, why should I type single quotations? Okay, let me do one thing. I'll ignore the single quotations. I mean, I'll not use any single quotations. Then I'll click on enter. But before clicking on enter, do you observe, or any one of us, are we observing any kind of syntax issue? No. If we have any syntax issue, for sure it will highlight with some kind of probably if I remove here, so if I click on enter, you see it's creating the following syntax error occurred due to parsing, during parsing. Okay, invalid token, some kind of error you are getting here, right? So it will highlight. Okay, so I'll click on enter, I'll rectify, and I'll click on enter, done. So average sales should create alphabetical order, right? So in the first position itself, I'll have the measure. But the question is, Akhil, I see you have used single quotes for the table name. Yes. Again, the best practice, even though if I don't use single quotes, it have executed, right? So still, if I'm using single quotes for the table name, still it will execute. Why? When are we supposed to use single quotes and when are we not supposed to use single quotes? So whenever your table has any special character, okay, whenever your table has any special character in the name of the table, then it's better if you keep the table name inside single quotes. Like what kind of special characters, Akhil? For example, if my table's name is like this, orders space data space, it will be considered as a special character. So when you are not using the single quotes, and if you are directly using order space data of sales, it will throw you error. So especially when our table has any special characters, it's mandatory that you go and use single quotes for the table name. Okay, done. So even this will execute, no issues. So it has created. Now, what is the process? The process is, in order to see the values that is or the measure that is present inside this average sales measure, I am supposed to load a visual first of all. So in the fourth row, sixth column, there is card visual. So we use the same card visual for the previous measures as well. I do one thing. Uh, Card new, yes. So both are same, card visual and card new visual. So a slight change. That's it, friends. Nothing else apart from that. So let me load card new visual. Okay, instead of card, let me go with card new. So card new visual has been loaded. Okay, I have already discussed yesterday. This red grid lines that you see are used for alignment. Okay, you observe properly. So these are used for alignment. So let me fix it here. Then what I'm supposed to do? Simple. Just click on the measure. Just click on the measure. Then unselect the measure. How to select a visual and how to unselect a visual. Unselecting means click on the white space. Click on the white space. Then it seems like, it means all of none of the visual is selected. But if you want to select any one of the visual, any one of the chart, go and select, click on the particular chart, particular visual. So you see a kind of background, a box is appeared. So it means this particular card new visual is selected. And if I want to unselect it, click on the white space. It's very easy for us. Okay, only for the first time, you have to understand all these things. Once if you are clear on all these topics, we not worry about all this. And what makes the difference between card and card new? What do you observe the differences, friends, between card visual and card new visual? What do you think of? Take your time and keep it on the chat. Come on, friends. What differences do you identify between card and card new visual? Do you feel both are same? Yes. Card new visual, even though if I unselect it, I'm not selecting this visual. Okay, even though if I unselect the card new visual, I see still a border. There is a border for card new visual, but do you find the same border for card visual? No. Okay, then even one more difference our friend has given. Name with respect to the measure for card visual, it is displayed on the bottom. The measure name will be displayed on the bottom. First the value, then the measure name. But for card new, first the measure name, then the value. Probably these two, yes. Yes. So what I can observe is average sales across 4 years is 228. Okay, across 4 years, what are the average sale? It's 228 number. The number is 228. That's it. Then, in the same way, can I also calculate average profit or not? Tell me. Average profit can be calculated? Yes. So, make it fast. Tell me, are we going to create a measure or column? Are we going to create a measure or column? Good, measure. So I'll repeat the process. Meanwhile, friends, use the chart, and within the chart, I want you to type the DAX formula that you know that should be used for creating average profit. So I want everyone to type it, whatever variable you give. So I'm giving it as average profit equals to average function. Then so profit column, right? So profit, done. Yes. So whenever it is some average, aggregation related kind of functions, yes, obviously it is a measure. Good. So this is the formula. Yes, good. Then I'll click on enter. It's done. You see, in the first place itself, we have the measure got created, average profit. So for it, again, I'm going to use card new visual. See friends, this is card and this is card new. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So seventh row, second column. Okay, so in seventh row, second column, we have card new visual. I'm loading card new visual to the report. Done, and move it, and I'll fix its place. Okay, now I'll load the measure. So on a single day across these 4 years, what is the profit that we have achieved? $28.67. See, am I calculating anything? No. Power BI is doing everything for me. And so when you keep all this related stuff, okay, on a report or on a dashboard, and if these numbers actually make, or if they are representing more information to the client, yes, for sure we have to keep it over a report or a dashboard. Okay, so what is the average profit that our client have received across these 4 years? Every day, on an average, our client got $28.67. If I round it off, $29 per day. Clear? So, yep, case sensitive, everything. So, friends, no, you have to use the same case. Don't change it. Yes. Okay. So, probably we have created the basic measures using sum function and average function. Clear? This is very, perfect. But what if the client is expecting, this is the data that our client have shared with us, assume. Okay. So, what I see is probably multiples. Okay, what are the different countries? India, Canada, US. Okay, then different state and province. I need not explain what is the difference. Okay, state and province. Yep, you see this, there is a column called category. Okay, so what is this category? This order that the customer is placing from our client, to which category does this order belongs to, is what we are having the information under this column. Okay, whether does it belongs to furniture or office supplies or technology. Okay, so this is the information that we have in this particular column category. But what if our client, okay, is expecting profit from technology? I hope you got my question. Client is expecting the overall profit across these 4 years. Okay, for all these 4 years, what is the profit that our client have got only via technology category. So what can we do, friends? This is the overall profit. But with respect to one single category, how can I calculate the profit? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. It's possible in two different ways. One is, you know, yep. You see, I just hovered my mouse on the visual and it is slicer. Okay, so what this slicer does is simply, so in Excel, if you are fond of Excel, if you use some kind of option called filter, okay, you can filter the records. So out of all these records, you are supposed to select only furniture. So what happens? All the orders with respect to furniture category will be returned, and for these orders, we have to calculate the profit. This is what we do in Excel. Okay, clear. But Akhil, what we have to do in Power BI? In Power BI, there are two different ways. One is using the visuals itself. Okay, what visual can be used? You see this filter funnel. This shape is nothing but funnel, and this is generally used for filtering, right? So this slicer visual that you see under the visualizations pane helps us for filtering, isn't it? Yes. Let me load slicer visual to the report, to the page. Loaded. You observe, I have loaded the, you know, slicer visual. Done. Now, what options do you see under this? See, as I have already discussed this point yesterday, again I'm repeating, friends. When you select any one of the visual, okay, in your page, in your report, that particular chart or that particular visual gets highlighted under the visualizations pane. Okay, you see, that means I'm working or I'm using slicer visual is what it's mentioning us. This box is representing that I'm working on slicer visual. Okay. So whenever you are using any one particular visual, you'll get all the relevant options under that particular visualization. So you see field option, yes. So it is asking us to add data fields here. What are fields? Nothing but columns. So which column you want to use for filtering purpose is what we have to add it here. So what is a column? It's category. It's category. So let me do one thing. Category, yes. Third one. So first two are measures. So obviously the first column I'll drag and I'll leave under fields. What happened? What happened is the moment we have dragged that column and left, we dropped under the field section, whatever the unique values are present in this category column, you will observe under the visual. Okay, so we have some of the orders and blank, some of the orders belong to furniture category, they belong to office supplies and technology. Now you select the required category. So our client is looking out for profit under technology category, right? So the moment you select on technology category, all the charts in this particular page gets interacted. What happened? What happened is, I see the moment I selected on technology category, all the charts, okay, all the charts in that specific visual, I mean in that specific page will get interacted with the visual that we are using. So what it is representing? It's representing that 146.54K. So probably 146,146.54K profit we have achieved from technology category, and this is the sales. This is the average sales. This is the average profit. This is how we can interpret the results. Okay, when you try to use a slicer function, I mean slicer visual. A slicer visual can be used for filtering. Okay. Again, Akhil, how to I don't want to get only technology. I also want to see furniture. But on Max, you see only one is getting selected. So these are the values for furniture. Overall profit across 4 years, then overall sales, average profit. Only under furniture category, friends. Right. Again, what if I don't want to use any of the category? Let me take all the transactions. Uncheck. Uncheck. You'll get all the values back. So we are able to filter the records using slicer visual. Okay. What is the second way, or how can we achieve the same output, you know, in a different method is using DAX. Using DAX, data analysis expressions. I mean, again, are we going to use the same function? Yes, we are going to use the same function because our requirement is to get overall profit, but not for all the transactions, not for all the records, only for the technology records, only for the category, the orders that belong to technology. So how can we achieve it? Let me do it. So we know that we are going to create a measure. Obviously, it will be a measure. So the same process. Okay, select measure, calculated measure, and you a variable. Okay, and this variable should it should be very suitable for our the measure that we are going to create. So we are going to create uh, probably profit from furniture technology category, right? So technology profit or overall profit under technology, whatever it might be, friends. Okay, is equals to. Okay, now we are going to learn an important function in Power BI, especially in DAX. Okay, in DAX, this is one of the important function. Okay, so for majority of our requirements, we generally go and use a function called calculate. There is a function called calculate. So if you select calculate, okay, you'll immediately get the syntax for the calculate. You'll get the syntax for the calculate. What it is displaying? It is displaying that initially specify the expression, then the filters. And we also discussed if you have any of the parameters inside the function, inside square braces, they are optional. Okay, and you see three dots, that means you can have multiple filters, not a single filter, you can have multiple filters. Okay, so what should be my expression? What should be my expression? Expression you keep aside. What should be your filter? Filter is clear. What will be your filter? Filter will be under category column. The value should be technology. Okay, that will be our filter. Then the expression. When it comes to expression, what you are doing, you are adding all the values of profit column. So which function should be used? Sum function. Sum. Okay, so within calculate, in order to build the expression, I'm going to use sum function, and here it displays the syntax of sum function, friends. So which column? It is profit column. So this is my expression. Close the function. So only I'm closing the function of sum, friends. I'm not closing the function of calculate. Okay. So if I go with this again, it creates me only the overall profit only, but I don't want overall profit. I want the profit from technology category. So specify comma, the moment you specify comma, it shifts to filters. So specify the filters. What filters are we going to apply? So we have the filter as category. Okay, under this category column, if the values are technology, tech, 1 minute, let me, yes, technology. Okay, since this is a value inside this column, okay, we have to specify clearly. Under this column, take only the records where you see technology. So this is the filter. Once if you are done with the filter, close the function of calculate. See, DAX, it's not a tough topic to understand. If you understand the syntax, you know, you can play with the functions. You can play with the functions. Okay, so I think it's very clear for us. I am using calculate function to calculate the profit from only technology category. Okay, then I click on enter. Done. It's done, friends. After creating the I mean the measure, scroll down because alphabetical order, right? So T, the last measure is technology profit. So how can we get the information about this technology profit? Load a visual. I'm loading a card visual, then I'll select it. It's 146.54K Akhil. Yes. How can I cross check? Simple. Even though if you click on technology, this and this, both the numbers should match. Only then you are done in a right way. If not, if the values doesn't match, probably we are wrong somewhere. So let me select only technology. Yes, exactly. We have both the values same. Same. Akhil, what if I click on furniture? If you click on furniture, rest of the chart, they'll show you some value. But this is built only for technology, right? So it does not display any value. See, is there any change? No, it does not interact. The reason is we have clearly specified we should consider only the records of technology category. Is it clear? Till here, any questions? I assume it's probably I being very slow. Yep. So no questions, right? Hmm. Now, friends, assume I am the client. Okay, I have given you this data. I have given you this data. And yep. So assume I am the client and you are working for me. Okay, and what if I want the sales, overall sales from central region? So this is my requirement. I want to know what are the overall sales under central region. For that, I want you guys to type the DAX formula. I need the DAX expression from you. I hope you got my requirement. I need central region sales, overall sales. So make it fast and give me the DAX expression. Waiting for your responses. Central region sales. So first of all, will it be a measure or column? It will be a measure. It will not be a column because for the central region, what are we calculating? We are calculating the overall sales. So obviously it will be a measure, right? So I need the syntax, the formula. I do it for you. You need not struggle. Probably you're learning, right? So let me do it. If you are capable, just give a try. At least I require some, you know, efforts from you. So central region sales. So we are going to calculate overall sales only for the central region. So obviously again the calculate function, because in the calculate function we can specify the expression along with the filters. So the expression will be like sum, yeah, summing up what? I'm summing up sales. Okay, then this will be my expression. Close the expression by specifying comma. So expression got created. Then what will be the filter? The filter will be like region. Region should be central. Good. Sorry. Central. Okay. So when I click on enter, good, good, good. Majority of your, keeping your efforts. That's great. So I see the central region sales measure got created. So how can we do it? Again, the same process. So card visual is what I'm taking. Then I'm displaying the value. It's 503.17K. Again, how to cross check? Since I have Excel, so I'm going with where is this region? Uncheck. Go with central. Click on OK. Then you know under sales it's 503,170. So even you have the same, so it is in thousands, right? You can also format this option. Okay, how you can do it is, probably I did not discuss this yesterday, so let us do it now. So when you want to edit or when you want to format the values that are present inside any measure, click on the measure, friends. When you click on the measure, you'll get the DAX formula that was used for creating this measure, and a measures tool contextual tab opens. You see, this is a contextual tab that is open for that particular measure. What is the name of the measure? It's central region sales. If you want to change it, yes, you can also change it. And what is the home table that this measure belongs to? It's orders. Okay, and by default it went with the decimal, I mean the general. If you want to make it as currency, yes. Okay, no, if you want to specify as a decimal number, yes. Whole number, yes, we can do it. Okay, so if it is a decimal number, assume if I want to mention as a decimal number. Okay, see how it's getting changed. And you should also specify the decimal count, 1 or 2. See, when I'm changing the values, how the values are getting you know changed, you observe. 3, 4. So in this way, so probably you might have got the point, right? So depending on whatever the decimal that you keep, it will round off to that decimal numbers. So in this way we can format. Yep. If it is a currency, for example, this is a currency, right? So what is this? This is technology profit. Go to technology profit measure. Just click on the technology profit measure. Then a contextual tab, measure tools, open, friends. and you can format it. This is representing dollars, right? So add dollars to it. Even if you are not working for any US client, if you want to change the currency, you can get all the list of you have all the list of the currencies, and you can change the currency as per your requirement. See, okay. So this is how we do the formatting also. Okay, the formatting and all can be done here, friends. So what my opinion is, I was like, we'll discuss all these topics under data visualization is what I felt. But anyhow, at some point of time, anyhow, we have to discuss. So let it be. So in this way, we can format the values. It's clear. I'll give you one more task, but this time I want every one of you to try this. Okay. So my requirement is to get the average profit, or say, okay, what is the profit that I have got, the overall profit from office supplies category in east region. If the requirement is like this, the requirement says what is the overall profit from, office supplies category under east region. For the east region, okay, only from office supplies category, what is the overall profit? So how can I calculate it, friends? Think of and just give a try. Yep, what might be the DAX formula? Anyways, you know the answer. Just type it and keep it over the chat. I mean, use the chat and complete it off. Not only from east, I want only from east region. That's good, but I only want the profit from office supplies category. But this will return me, you know, the sales. Anyhow, even if I replace with profit, so profit from only east region, then for all the, yes, good. See, simple, friends. It's like adding multiple filters. That's it. That's it. So again, initially you have to understand, are we going to create a measure or column? It's again a measure. So click on new measure. Then I'm just using the same formula, but what I'm calculating office supplies east region profit. So this is my measure name. In order to be very clear, so this is what I keep, and under the category I have to use office supplies. Then only one filter? No, you have to go with the next filter, one more filter. It is region. It's region. Under region, I want only the orders from east. That's it. Sorry. So that's it. We are done with the DAX expression. Click on enter. Done. So how can I get the information? You see, office supplies, East region profit is what we have created just now. Again, let me load a card visual or whatever it might be, friends. Okay. So whatever it might be, what does it says? It says blank. Why do we get a blank? For cross checking, let me do it in Excel. Okay. So under East region, okay, only for office supplies category, is there any transaction? There are transactions. But why it is resulting as a blank is the question. Let me go with profit. It's saying 42,996. So something wrong that we have done. East, then it's office supplies. The sum of profit is what we have requested for. Even I have done in the right way only. Office supplies, then East. Yes. Sorry. My bad. Just a typo. It was, now we'll get a value. Yes. You see 43K, 43,000. Is that what we have got here? Yes. If you want to get the exact value, you know, yes. So if you want to get the exact value, like 42,996, I think what, in order to get the exact value. So you are formatting this text, right? The number. For that, you see an option format your visual. So make sure that you select the visual first. Once after selecting the visual, next to add data to your visual option, you'll see format your visual option. Okay, so here you will have the formatting options for the text. Okay, so call out value. So this is the value that is used, right? So by default, it's going with display units as auto. Okay, so let me give it as none. If I go with none, is this the value that we have? 42,996.74. Yes, 42,996.73. It's close. Okay, why it is giving 74? Because again I have kept decimal places as auto. If you want to increase it, you can go beyond. See, 4. Now I'll expand 7397. 7397. That's how you'll get the original value back. Clear? See. So these options are with respect to formatting the visual. Okay. So whether you want the label or not, also you can make it on off. See. So if you don't have label, by default it will be on. If you don't want to have it, keep it off. But when you off it, it doesn't make any sense. Right? Yes. Because what exactly that number is speaking about. We should have some information. So that information, if you keep it off, there is no use. Right? So these are the formatting options that we have. Only two formatting options for card visual, but in general, rest of the visualizations that we are going to learn will have many formatting options. There will be many formatting options. So even if you see, I can change the font. it's by default DIN. What if I it's Arial, say black is used, right? So what if I want to use, say, Tahoma? No. Yes, I'll use Tahoma. See, I can reduce the size. See, let me give it 40. If I want to make it bold, I can make it bold. If I want to make it italic, yes, it will be bit tilt towards the right side. And if I want to underline the value, these are the options that you see only for the value, friends. The caption down, the measure name will not disturb. Okay, so even actually I'm not comfortable in black. So let us change the color. Okay, so you can play with these options, formatting options. Okay, so generally I'm not that much good at fixing these color combinations, but generally, if you are good at keeping the right colors, identifying the right colors, yes, you can play with them. So text wrap means whenever there is a big text, okay, so this values and all, it starts wrapping. In the next line it adds all the values. Okay, then let me reduce these decimal places, sorry, and probably I'll keep the auto. 43K is what I see. Okay, so these are the options for call out value and category label. This label also have, we can change the font. Okay, so let me give Tahoma only, then let me make it bold. Okay, I'll increase the size. See, then I can also change the color. So in this way, we can, you know, play with the what formatting options, and you can make your reports very beautiful. You can make your reports beautiful. So need not worry. Everything is available inside, Power BI itself. But when you are learning itself, if you have clear picture what you are doing, for which visualization should be used, or when you select any visual, what is the purpose of that visual, when it should be used. When you have enough knowledge on these things, Power BI is an amazing tool. Power BI is an amazing tool. See, so you can actually create beautiful reports, beautiful charts can be bought up. And these charts, these reports, dashboards can be shared to the client. And it helps us for interacting purpose also. How the charts are interacting between one another. Okay. So we'll learn more probably tomorrow. So we have understood with respect to card and card new visual, both of them are same. There are only a minute changes with respect to card and card new visual. Okay, so these two are especially used for measures, displaying the values that are present inside measures. Yes. Okay, so the important function calculate was being understood, and tomorrow we'll create columns. Okay, so related to date related functions, let us work and create some more measures, as well as let us focus on columns, because today we have completely invested our time only on measures, right? Yes, so that's all for the day, friends, and it's time for our questions. Any technical questions? Is the order of filter matters? No, it's not the order that is it's filtering, right? So there is no order depending on the column that you take for the filter. I mean the whatever you see that visual that is being used. whatever the field that you're going to take under this visual, it's taking all the distinct values, and it is actually useful for filtering. That's it. Apart from that, nothing else. There is no order. I hope you got my point. What is the difference between new measure and quick measure? Quick measure is completely a different topic, friend. Okay, so quick measure, it refers to kind of what. So new measure, you have understood. New measure is representing the measures, and quick measures, they generally represent the pre-built calculations. Okay, so we are not using any kind of DAX code for building these quick measures, but for new measure we have to use DAX. Okay, that makes the difference, and we will not touch this quick measure. That's different story. I mean, different topic together. Yeah. So generally, if you're not familiar with DAX, then we'll go with quick measure. But if you are familiar with DAX, yes, we'll create measures using this DAX, and using this new measure concept, right? So friends, if you don't have any kind of questions, you know I request sincerely, to just give a thumbs up, just give a link, like before you leave, because we are making these amazing sessions for you, because these are the emerging tools that are currently used in the real world. So if you put some enough time, if you invest some enough time, and if you are giving efforts from your end, you can create wonders, right? So even I need some kind of support from you folks. Just encourage us by subscribing to our channel, then sharing our channel to multiple folks across your connections and all. Okay, and moreover, before you leave, just one like. That's what I am expecting, nothing else. Sir, I'm pursuing MBA final year for my project. I need to attach a certificate for the company. So I'm thinking of doing power. Yeah, it's a great step, my friend. You can work on the project related to Power BI. Just if you understand these concepts, yes, just use it as it is. Okay, so whatever the project that you are going to do, okay, so just apply the steps from day one till the last day. That's more than enough. See, whatever the topic that we are teaching in these sessions, for all the topics we are literally doing on project only. Okay, so if you take superstore data or the employees data set, whatever it might be, initially we are cleaning the data set using Power Query editor. Then what are we doing? If the data is stored in non-normal fashion, we are building the data models using Power Pivot. Okay, we'll reduce the redundancy. Okay, then if there are any requirement, if you want to create any columns or measures, you can use DAX. If there is no any requirement, you can directly start your visualizations. You can visualize the data. Okay, that is what we are going to learn in the next topic, right? So just implement all these topics, and you can finally come up with a dashboard. That dashboard you can showcase to your management, probably, that this is what you have done with respect to your project. You can showcase all the step by step, right? Thank you once again. And if you want any kind of assistance from us, just ping to that number that was displayed in the chat. Okay, the contact number that was shared in the chat, just make a note of it. And for any kind of assistance or for any kind of information, you know go and whenever you're free, just give a call, right? So friends, the feedback link has been posted. Give your valuable feedback, and if you're done, you're free to leave. Thank you so much for joining today. And you know, it was already shared, right? Right. So we'll meet in the next session. Until then, take care, friends. Bye. Signing off.